Assalamu alaikum. My name is Wajiha. I'm from chemistry department. Today is my first presentation. The topic of my presentation is pyrotechnic chemicals. Now I'm gonna explain you all about the pyrotechnic chemicals, their storage, their use, and their application. And the definition of pyrotechnic chemicals. Pyrotechnic chemicals are used to display fireworks. Today I'm sharing screen to start my presentation about pyrotechnic chemicals. Fire Pyrotechnic chemicals definition. The definition of pyrotechnic chemical is pyrotechnic literally refers to fireworks, the art of making display of fireworks. They are substance designed to produce an effect by heat, light, sound, gas, or combination of these as a result of non-detonative self-sustaining exothermic chemical reactions. Phytotechnic chemicals in chemistry. Pyrotechnic chemicals use variety of chemistry concepts which produce different effects of sound. It includes effects that use rapid oxidation to produce an effect of light and sound. This includes all high explosives except for a few used in pyrotechnics such as picric acid. Composition of pyrotechnic chemicals. Traditionally, pyrotechnic chemicals have been made from the fuel and oxidant in the form of finely divided powders. Fuels have ranged from metals such as aluminium, magnesium, and iron to non-metals such as silicon, carbon, sulfur, and some organic compounds. Oxidants have included oxides, peroxides, and oxysalts. Storage of pyrotechnic chemicals. The basic principle for the display storage of pyrotechnic chemicals include following measures. Storage and displaying pyrotechnic chemicals away from flammable liquid and material that can easily catch fire and burn. controlling the qualities being stored, handled, or displayed in areas where people work or gather. This is obviously especially relevant to shop floor area of shop, prohibiting smoking anywhere near stored and displayed fireworks or other pyrotechnic firework articles. Handling of pyrotechnic chemicals. The handling of such materials shall be performed under the personal supervision of a certificate of a fitness holder for special effects operations or a certificate of fitness for non-pyrotechnic chemicals. Keep such chemicals away from ignition sources such as open flame, hot surface, sunlight, direct sunlight. Precautions of pyrotechnic chemicals. Preventing the spread of fire from or to flammable or other dangerous substance. It is preferable to keep pyrotechnic articles in a storage place that can be used exclusively for this purpose. A fire involving pyrotechnic articles is likely to spread very quickly as a burning projectile are thrown around. Where the pyrotechnic are kept in a water house or a similar room or a building that also hold a significant quantities of other combustible material, the storing arrangement will need to design to prevent the spread of fire, involve either storing in an ISO transport container or simply fully enclosed metal structure, using storage cupboard and cabinets, building a structural portion or using with wire mesh screen or cage. Any container or enclosure should be suitably constructed. It should be sufficiently robust to remain stable and effective throughout its expected working life, taking into account the expected working. Suitably located, it should be located well away from flammable or hazardous substance. Non-metals used in pyrotechnic. Carbon is an important fuel in pyrotechnic. It is used in the form of charcoal or lamp black. Nitrogen is used in the form of nitrates. Phosphorus. Phosphorus form a very sensitive and powerful explosive mixture when mixed with chlorates or oxygen. Oxygen is used in the form of polyatomic molecules. Those release oxygen at high temperature. Sulfur. Sulfur is mostly used as a fuel. Only in zinc sulfur rocket it is used as an oxidizer. Chlorine. Chlorine combined with the metals in the flame and valve to enhance color. It is used in the form of Cl donor like PVC. The role of periodic table in pyrotechnics referred for elemental weight to determine the amount of each chemical needed. Without periodic table balancing and predicting reactions would be much more difficult. Alkaline and alkaline earth metals used in pyrotechnic. Potassium used to produce purple colored flame. Magnesium is used in a flash powder to produce bright lights. Metallic form of magnesium is more reactive fuel than aluminum. Strontium compounds are used to produce red lights. Magnesium, which contains 49% magnesium, is more reactive than magnesium aluminum and does not have troubles with water. Hydrocarbons involved. Hexamine cyclohexane fuel mainly uses a solvent. Acetone dissolved nitrocellulose. Methyl ethyl ketone dissolved porcelain. Gasoline used for making a simple fireball. How to ignite? First of all, for ignition, put the fuel in a mortar or tube. Then fill black powder in bottom portion. Then introduce flame in black powder. Then ignition starts. NASA's method for aluminium usage as a fuel. It involves vaporizing aluminium, condensing it to the container wall, then submicron sized particles are obtained. This results in significant fuel saving. This method is too expensive. Controlling the rate of reaction. The rate of reaction is controlled by using excess of fuel or oxidizer, by adding carbonates, by adding sodium chloride, by catalyst, especially in rocket fuel, by changing the percent of the reactant, by using appropriate solvents. Precipitate method for the preparation of the black powder. First of all, for the preparation of the black powder, potassium nitrate is dissolved in hot water. Then charcoal and sulfur are added and mixed well. Then the solution is poured into into an amount of cold alcohol. Potassium nitrate precipitate into the small crystals so it can be burned much faster. Transition metals. Iron. Iron is used to produce bright orange sparks. Must be coated with linseed oil. Finally, divided iron is used as a slow fuse. Copper. Copper arsenite used for green sparks. Copper 2 chloride produces blue when excited. Zinc powder is used to produce spreader starch. Used in rocket with sulfur. Zinc produces bluish or greenish color when burned. Basic type of pyrotechnic include flash burn very fast, produce explosions and or bright flashes of light. Gunpowder burns gunpowder burns slower than flash powder, produces large amount of gases. Solid propellants produces large amount of hot gases used as a source of kinetic energy for rockets and projectiles. Pyrotechnic initiators produces large amount of heat, flames and hot sparks used to ignite other composition. Gas generator burn fast, produce large amount of gas at short time used to eject pellets from containers. Smoke composition burn slowly, produce smoke plain or colored. Some pyrotechnic compositions are used in industry and aerospace for the generation of large volume of gas in a gas generation. Application of pyrotechnics. Military pyrotechnics used for illumination, signaling, simulation of battle noises and effects and include items such as flares and signals. An AP mine is a pyrotechnic instrument that has been developed to be activated by an involuntary action of enemy in order to stop fire. An AP mine is an object placed on or underground any surface designed to explode by a person's proximity or contact of the person. Generally, two types of mines exist during the time of for military purpose during the time of war. It includes blasting mine and fragmenting mine. This is all about the fire technique chemicals, their storage and their use. Thank you.